Late this summer, I got this really weird letter from church. It was just a piece of paper in a UPS envelope. When I opened it up, I saw the church stationery and the word forbidden on it. I didn't even take it out of the envelope. I just gave it to a lawyer the next day. He said it didn't list any reason for barring me from the property, and he said the letter was unsigned. I asked him to keep the letter in his files because I didn't even want it in my presence. It resonated with a lot of anger. I suppose it's not all that hard to make people angry, intentionally or unintentionally. But I guess when I make people angry, I like to have a reason and a signature. But I guess in this case, all I can do is tell it to Jesus. Welcome. Welcome to this special edition of Sunday Coffee Hour. I'm Stanley Smith. A person that came to my mind in all this was Michelle. Michelle was a Vietnam War vet who started out life as a man, but later transitioned into a woman. Michelle's biggest sin wasn't her rough skin and poor fashion sense. It was the fact that she infected the sanctuary of the church and an entire floor at the Neiman Marcus building with bed bugs, not just once, but twice. It was a lot of collateral damage. After this, she was asked never to return to the church again. A couple weeks after I got my mean letter from church, I was served papers claiming stalking of our former pastor. Later, at a hearing, I was accused of trying to break into her church. They had a security guard on hand to serve as a witness. But after evidence was presented, that witness quietly left the proceedings. For many years, I attended men's Bible study at the headquarters of the Kirkland and Ellis law firm in downtown Chicago. We were usually given a luxurious boardroom for our meetings. Often I would look around and think, wow, if I was ever sent up the river, what a lovely place to go down the tubes. In the Fulton County proceedings, the Kirkland and Ellis team did a really good job. All I could do was answer truthfully. Everyone is entitled to their opinion, and everyone has the right to feel threatened, even if it's 9 years later. I'm not going to dismiss anyone's feelings. And the opinion part, well, in the very last minute of the Fulton County proceedings, the Kirkland and Ellis team asked if my social media and YouTube account could be closed down. And the judge said it could not, because ironically, everyone, including me, is entitled to an opinion. I'm not always sworn to tell the whole truth, the entire truth, and nothing but the truth. But on a regular basis, I do try to do so to the best of my ability. And I try to do so in a way that is life affirming, instructive, and edifying. In the court proceedings, I was asked, what is the context of my message? And I said, my message is always about peace and reconciliation. I will leave this to you, gentle listeners, to judge for yourself. Holly Golightly said limelight is the worst kind of light for a girl's complexion. They often say that Jesus led a perfect and spotless life, but being God was really, really bad for his complexion. He was accused of trumped up charges that were escalated and culminated with his execution. Michelle had really bad skin and bad fashion sense. One year, Halloween landed on Sunday, so Michelle came to church dressed in a French maid costume, complete with a super short skirt and feather duster. Nothing more life affirming than that. But the church was not amused and sent her home. I'm not sure which is worse, sending out an unsigned letter or not having a sense of humor. Michelle did find her way to a new church and a new church family. They embraced her and comforted her as she made her way into her final transition in this earthly life. John Meacham recently said that humility is the first casualty in a world in constant conflict. And I think humor, too, is a great casualty in all of this. Not having a sense of humor is probably the worst. But luckily for me and for Michelle, God always has the last laugh. Thank you for joining me for this special edition of Sunday Coffee Hour. I now return you to your regular programming, and I look forward to seeing you very, very soon.